So welcome everyone. This is Elsie Kerns, wellness educator and Eden Energy Medicine practitioner. And I'm very excited to join you tonight. Our guest, Gail Von Koniken, Dr. Gail Von Koniken will be joining us in just a few minutes. And I want to start with the 1 minute May I meditation that we've done. And we're going to come up into prayer position, and we're going to come up to the top of the crown, and we're going to say, may I know the truth. We're going to come between, right by the forehead there at the third eye, and that area governs seeing and hearing. May I see and hear the truth. We're going to bring our thumbs just off the lips. May I speak the truth down to the heart, from my heart to all humanity. So we'll do that one more time. Come up, prayer position, to the top of the crown, opening to divine source. May I know the truth. Thumbs right on the forehead for the sixth chakra and third eye. May I see and hear the truth. Off the lips, may I speak the truth. At the heart, from my heart to all humanity. And there's a great slide. I have that on the replay as well that Sherry Nicholas did, very talented lady. And she also did this one for us. And so I will put this up, whoops, put this up to end that as well. And the second one is a way to easily open that third eye. So we're going to start with our middle finger right between the eyebrows. We're going to push all the way up to the hairline as a way of opening that third eye area. So just a few tips for us to begin with. And now I want to introduce Dr. Gail Von Koniken because she has a great slideshow about medicinal herbs and a very special one tonight. Gail, welcome. Take over. Get that show rolling.
Okay, thank you so much, Elsie. I'm delighted to be back with you and everyone else that's with us. Thank you so much. I am going to pull up my slides here. Wait, this is saying this. Host disabled my screen sharing. So Miss Host, I need you to undisable me.
Oh, I don't know how that happened.
Try this. Now I'm still blocked.
So let me go. One second here. Okay, so Gail, I just made you the co-host, so you should be able to share those screens now.
Here we go. I can now. How's that? Does it work?
Okay.
Okay, so medicinal herbs, they're very, very easy to participate with. And this is just a little picture of my garden and how it looks. I have been growing this garden now for 2 years. And I have another one that's off to the other side of that beautiful blue spruce tree. And so I have actually two. And in the center, I have a chakra garden. And I have all the crystals of the chakras and an alkyd, and all that energy is going right into my herb gardens. And I stand in the middle of this and walk through it and sit and meditate through there all the time to get that chakra energy. It's just incredible. So next slide here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about calendula, and this is one of my favorite herbs, and it's very simple to grow. I'm going to talk about the history of it, the healing uses, the preparations, and the growing and harvesting, and I'm going to give you some recipes so that you can use these flowers. Quickly, before I start, I also want to show you, I just harvested some flowers this evening before we started, and this is the actual flower. And once the petals are off the flower, then you have this center stem that has the little yellow center, and I'll tell you how I use these. And the reason I have 3 of those that have no petals is because I ate them for my dinner. So you can just have wonderful, good things to do with this. So the calendula was named by the ancient Romans because it bloomed on the first day of the calend. So calendula, calendar. That's where this all came from. And then the ancient Egyptians used it for skin rejuvenation to make the skin beautiful and healthy. And the Greeks and Romans started using it as a culinary garnish, which is why I put it in my salad tonight. In India, they strung it into garlands. They took the flowers off the stems and strung it into garlands for weddings and religious rituals. It's also used in the Day of the Dead in Oaxaca, Mexico, and many of the other southern Mexican countries that celebrate the Day of the Dead. And this is where I really learned first about the calendula, was during the rituals of the Day of the Dead. This flower holds powers of protection, prophecy, and positive legal outcomes. So if you're having issues legally, bring some of this into your life and bring that energy forward. Will help you. It also helps us move out stagnant things in our lives. So whatever we don't need in our life, bring this forward. So I'm always about change and bringing in new things into my life, and I can't be without this plant. So a few things, if you see, just a few things mentioned here of what this flower will do for you. It boosts the immune system, and that's what I love so wonderfully about it because of my health background. Respiratory illnesses is good for that. So cold and flu season is right around the corner. Get some calendula in your closet so you can make some teas and drink it. A hair rinse, you can make a tea out of it and rinse your hair with it. Creams topically applied for atrophic vaginitis. For those of us who are menopausal, we know that the hazards of having dry vagina. This helps that condition. It's a skin softener, an antiseptic, an antifungal. It helps fevers and earaches. It's an antibacteria. It heals tissues. It's great for the stomach, digestive problems, gum diseases, anything with the gut and digestion. This works well with. For varicose veins, you can make the cream for it and put it right onto the skin for varicose veins. It stops bleeding. You know, I'm forever gouging myself in the garden, cutting myself open, and then I just pick a piece of the flower and I rub it on the cut, and it stops bleeding just about instantly, and I never get any skin infections. It's good for purifying the blood and acne, rashes, anything on the skin, and frostbite. For those of us here in the northern climates, Minnesota, frostbite, nice to know that this helps with that. Ulcers and other injuries, nasal wash and mouthwash. And one other thing I discovered for myself, I was out in the yard working, and I had my sunscreen on, and it was dripping in my eyes, and I was rubbing my eyes because I was sweating so badly, and I noticed my eyelids started to swell shut. So I thought, oh my, this is irritating my eyeballs, so I've got to get this off. I just wiped my eyes with a cloth, but then I grabbed my calendula flower, and I just, I took it and I just plucked a couple of fingerfuls of the petals, and I rubbed it on my eyelids, on both eyes. And within 5 minutes, the swelling was completely gone out of my eyelids. And it just amazes me that worked. I just thought I'd try it, and wow. So little allergic reactions, bee stings probably. And then what I do, I ate the petals. for my immune system right after I rub my eyes. So very, very handy little plant to have in the garden. This is a little look of how part of my garden looks like. This is the row of calendula flowers that I have in my box for harvesting. The plants get a spread on them about 4 foot across, and they grow about 24 inches tall. So they take up a bit of room. Now, in the northern climates, they are not perennial. In the southern climates, where it's very warm all year long, they are a perennial flower. So they do take up a bit of space. You can put them in pots too. You don't have to put them in the garden. That's the other nice thing, is you can have them in pots and you can bring them in and out of the house too. So you can use these as dried flowers, fresh flowers, because it's a beautiful bouquet. There is very little, there is no real fragrance. There's just a hint of flavor to them, but they're not like a rose or a petunia that's got all this wafting fragrance to it. So there is no odor. So if you're sensitive, this is the perfect flower for you. You can use these in oil infusions, and I'm going to show you my oil infusion. Okay, very clear. You can see here, this is olive oil, and I just take the flowers and put them right in the olive oil, set them in the sun for about 14 days, shake it every day, get it mixed up, and then once it's done, I strain it and I filter it, and this has been filtered about 3 times. So there's the oil infusion. Then you can take this oil and you can make creams and lotions and soaps and shampoos and skin creams out of it. There's a bazillion recipes out there for that type of stuff, and I have one of the resources that you can get a recipe from at the end of the slideshow. Here's some dried flowers, and you can see these were my first 3 flowers that I harvested. I always save my very first ones, and I use it as offering and thanks and gratitude for the season. And then at the end of the season, I put it in a gratitude fire and give thanks to nature for it. So you can harvest them and dry them just like this, and then you can store them in your plastic bags, and then you can drop the whole bud without the stem. The stem is bitter. Right into your teapot. And if you buy it commercially, this is a lot of times you'll get the whole flower instead of just the petals. If you can see that well enough there. There you go. I'm kind of going backwards here, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to do something left and right and in between, and I don't have that spatial sense. You can eat it, as you just saw me do. I put it in salads, soups, stews, and garnishes. It's been used for years in stews and soups. Many, many, many centuries ago, it was used for nourishment. And there's a lot of vitamins in the calendula, so it's really healthy to eat. I make tea out of it every day. I just take the tea leaves and put it right into my teapot. Here's my special storage container, grocery bag.
Gail,
Yes.
can you stop the slideshow for a minute, because we can't see what you're showing?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see this now?
We still have the slideshow up, but I wanted to.
Oh, I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to stop sharing.
Right. Just stop share. Go down across the bottom.
It doesn't want. Okay. Let's see here. Where'd it go? Where are you? I don't know where that bar went to, Elsie. Can you see me now?
No, not yet. Is that area coming
Oh,
up
wait. Oh, I see it. It's hiding.
across the bottom? Right. It's sort of hiding. There you go.
Okay.
So I wanted to see you when you were talking about that oil, and it sounded so famous, but we couldn't see what you were doing.
Okay. So here is the oil. So
Oh.
sorry, I thought it was showing it. Okay, there's the oil. Very, very clear oil. You can just see me right through that. Okay, that's olive oil. These are the flowers. Okay. Very pretty flowers.
Beautiful.
And then these are the center parts. After I pick the petals off, there's the center part of the flower. And what I do with this is I'm going to do something different. Is I'm going to make a paste out of this year. I'm saving all these center parts, and I'm going to make a pasty cream out of it and use that on my body and see how that works for things. I'm sure it'll work just fine. And then this is the flower that's dried, the complete flower. I shake it, the petals will fall off. These were my first 3 flowers that I harvested, that I keep. And then after I pick the petals, well, let me finish this where I was at so I don't get ahead of myself here. So you can apply these things topically too. And as I said, you can drink a tea. And I make teas every day. And I just, you know, this is my harvesting calendula petals. And while I'm harvesting, I put them in here after they're dry to continue drying. And so here's the petals, just like that. And then you can just take that and put a little bit in your tea things. This stuff really expands like 50 times. So you don't want a lot. Just a little pinch is all you need for your teacup. All right, and then as I harvest them and pluck them, I put them in this little box with a paper towel underneath them to help them dry. And then every other day or so, I will just swish them around and get them so that there's more air circulating. And I dry them in the sun, or I dry them in my basement, because it depends on the humidity levels outside. If it's too humid, nothing will dry, you know. So I have a little heater to keep my basement warm. To allow these to dry a little bit better, because I have about 40 herbs that I'm drying all the time, so I need a drier environment for that. Okay, so those were the examples. So I'm going to go back to screen share then, Elsie, okay?
Sure.
All right. Now finish these slides. How's that? Can you see that?
Yep, slides are back up. Great.
Okay, good. All right, so as I said, they grow in a real warm climate. They'll grow anywhere, but they're not going to be perennial unless they're in a real warm climate. You can get a nice big pot because they're a big plant. So you're going to need a pot that's probably 12 inches across for this, maybe even bigger because they're that big. And the nice thing about the calendula is the more you pick the plant, the more it blooms. And I have just hundreds of blooms out there right now. And I pick every day. I don't harvest them all at one time. I pick the ones that are ready. You'll be able to tell which ones are ready to pick. But when you go to pick them, they're sticky. The stems are sticky. The blossoms are sticky. Your fingers get very sticky. It's not a bad sticky, because my hands are the softest hands in the world right now because of the calendula all over them. The stickiness just absorbs right in after a couple of seconds, and I've got great hands now. So then you can grow it from a plant or the seed. And I'm going to do seeds next year as well as plants. I put in plants because I live in Minnesota, so I have a shorter growing season. But I'm going to do both. And then it blooms from spring through the snowfall, and it'll spread to that height of 3 to 4 foot and about 2 foot tall. And then in harvesting, pick when it's in full bloom, and it'll be sticky and soft. Allow it to set in the sun for maybe a day or a couple of hours to just start to wilt it a little bit, or you can pluck it right away. The longer you let it sit, the stickier it'll be to handle once you start plucking. So I have a tendency to, if I have time, I'll pluck them right away. If not, I let them set till I get time, and sometimes it's the next day that I'll start plucking the petals. And then you just get a little bit more medicine on your hands, and you get softer fingers. Using the cardboard box with paper towels, you can put it in a dehydrator. Now, I don't put the petals in a dehydrator because they're too little and they'll just fly all around the inside. If you're going to use the whole flower, you could do that in a dehydrator. When they're fully dry, make sure that they are, put them in airtight plastic bags and label them with the date and the name. Don't think you're going to remember, because we don't. And then I remove that center of the flower and dry it separately for a poultice or a paste, and keep it separate from the petals. So this is a little bit of my harvesting kitchen, I call it. My harvesting studio in my backyard. This is what it looks like when I'm out there working. I'm sure my neighbors look out and they're like, oh my word, what is this woman doing? And they come over and they talk about it, and I teach them as well. So it's very, very nice to be able to share all of these beautiful things with everyone. So these are just a small sample of some of my herbs. And a recipe. You can infuse the petals in hot water for 3 minutes. If you go longer than about 3 minutes, maybe 4 at the most, it can get bitter. So you want to keep it at that 3 to 4 minute mark. You can fill a jar 3/4 full of the petals and pour the olive oil over the top of the jar until it covers it completely, at least 1 inch to 2 inches above the petals, and then let it sit in the sunshine, as I told you before, and then you strain the petals out, and then you can apply this oil to your skin. You don't have to do anything more with it if you don't want to. You can just leave it just like that. Once the oil is infused, you can make it into creams and ointments and soaps and cosmetic recipes or anything you like. You can put it into foods because olive oil is edible. Sprinkle it on salads, put it in soups, stews, jellies, jams, pies, any hot dish that's ready to serve. And then these are the recipes, or the references that I have, and you'll find the second one, the Medicinal Herbs, A Beginner's Guide, that has lots of recipes in it for creating the oils and the herbs and the creams, making body products and that types of things, and tinctures and all of that. So all of those nice options for you to have, so you can start this yourself. This is so simple to do. You know, I'm very busy with my job, as you all are, and it's not hard to do. I go out, I harvest for 20 minutes a day and bring it in, pluck it, set it out to dry, and it takes care of itself. And Mother Nature does the rest. So that's the first session on herbs, and I have many more I can share with you of how to work with them.
Thanks, Gail. Can you recommend, can you actually buy tea bags?
You can buy calendula whole. You can buy the petals, and you can get them in your organic stores. I've never seen the calendula flower in a tea bag commercially produced, and it may be out there, but I've never seen it. I buy it bulk if I were to go to the store, and I just get a little bag full, and that's what I use. That's how I first started using it. But I've never seen it in a tea bag.
Okay. And I want everyone to know that I have a PDF on the replay link of Gail's PowerPoint. So you will have all those references for yourself and all the things that she just talked about. And she's trying to get up a web page on this, so you can contact Gail. I have her information also on the replay if you'd like to buy something from her. Right, Gail?
Absolutely, yes. This is why I'm doing it, is to share with everyone. You know, I'm sure most of you know that have heard me talk before. I'm a nurse practitioner. I've been a nurse practitioner for 1,000 years, and I do work with medicine and traditional medicine. And I just want to say a disclaimer that medicine is important. It has a role. I believe that, or I wouldn't be working in this field. But nature has a role for helping us heal as well. So we have to find the balance between the two and utilize both to the best that we can do. So I really felt compelled to begin growing medicinal herbs because I feel so strongly that Mother Nature can help us with many, many things to keep us healthy and keep our immune system going, and to get us out in nature and off of away from being inside four walls all the time and from being, always working. Because the more that you come in contact with nature, the more you work with spirit, the more your heart grows and opens, the more aware and enlightened you become. And when you do that, you have freedom. And it's freedom to be and to know who you really, truly are in your heart.
Oh, that's great, Gail. Really great. Does anybody have any questions for Gail? If I'll scan the group here, raise your hand. And hi, Mary. Just seeing if anybody's got a question up, and it's good to see everybody. So I don't see anybody raising their hand, but please know that all of what Gail presented you'll be able to click into the PDF again and also, contact her. And Gail, I know on your website you have like a couple of interesting, like 10 tips for health. And one of them I saw was drinking 10 glasses of water a day. So could you say a little bit about that?
Yeah, we don't drink water. People don't drink water. They drink soda, they drink coffee, and all the different drinks that are out there available now. There's 5,000 of them, but we don't drink water. And our bodies need water because we are water. We're about 75% water when we are our age. So if we don't keep water coming in, our little water is going to dry up and we're going to be prunes. And 10 glasses of water a day is really what our bodies need. So that's why I put that out there. And if I say 10, I'm hoping you'll get at least 6 or 7. It's sort of the rule of thought.
Yeah, right. Well, great. Well, I know that you're headed over to Mayo Clinic tonight. So I'm so glad that you took this time to be with us and to share this. And we'd certainly love to have you come back too. Any last words of wisdom for us?
Get your garden going, and it's easy. Get a pot now. You can grow it now. You don't have to worry that winter's coming. You can bring it in the house. So no reason to wait till next year to get this started. And you can always email me and ask me questions anytime. I'll be glad to mentor you in any way I can. So thank you very much. Blessings to everybody, and from my heart to yours.
Thanks, Gail. Thanks so much for coming on. So I wanted to have Gail present first because I knew that, she had to go to work, and she has so many phenomenal things to offer us. And of course, she is a doctor of nursing and nurse practitioner at Mayo Clinic out in Rochester, Minnesota. So welcome back, everyone. This is Elsie Kerns. And before I go on and talk about color healing and some of the other things this evening, I wanted to let you know that we are going to continue these monthly webinars the last Thursday of every month. And beginning in September, it'll be a paid subscription. And I'm inviting you tonight. I'll send you information about that to join me at $9.99 per month or $95 for the entire year. And I have some exciting guests lined up, a sleep expert, a urogynecologist, a PT who specializes in pelvic work for both women and men, and many more people in the holistic field that have so much to share with us and tell us what's going on in their life and their practice. So I just love doing these webinars and having people on that can offer us insight and information on how to live healthier and longer, living well. So I will send all of that, and everybody or anybody who signs up tonight from the link that I send with the replay link will receive a complimentary intuitive energy reading with me. So I look forward to having you join me in September and continue on with these Women Healing Women in the World wellness webinars. Another thing I wanted to talk about tonight is color And I wanted to talk about it because it's so easy for us to use. Color therapy has been around forever, and I just wanted to show you a couple of simple ways that you can use color. So you can start by just using a regular flashlight. Just a regular flashlight, does not have to be fancy. And you can use this on any part of your body. This is a piece of gold silk. So if I wanted to use it on my lungs, for example, I would just put the piece of silk here and I would shine the flashlight over it. And that would put the color through to the lungs or any other area. I also have some small swatches. They're felt, and you could use this on any part of the body if you have an injury or an area that's particularly difficult. Blue is, of course, the color for the throat, so we could put that up to the throat chakra if anybody's struggling with, hypothyroidism or low thyroid or any of those conditions. So this is something that has no real contraindications and is very simple and very easy for everyone to use. There's also a set that I have, and these are color gel plastic sheets. Here's the rose, and I could use that right over the heart chakra. So another way that this is fun to use for color is great with color for kids. You know, if your child has a stomach ache or a problem area, they skinned their knee or whatever, you can ask them, what color do you think would be healing for that area or that, stomach ache? And let them pick the color, and the both of you together can imagine that you're infusing that area with that color. Our imagination and our intention are really wonderful healing tools. So color is something we can use anytime, anywhere, with anyone of any age. And it's very healing. In fact, in Germany and in other countries, they use color healing a great deal. So that's one tip tonight that we can think about for using healing for ourselves, self-care. And that's something we really need today more than ever before. The other thing I wanted to share was that I found the perfect prayer bowl. And this is a crystal bowl with angels all around it. And what we're going to do on continuing webinars is use the power of group healing to pray for all of those that are on the call. I would also like, as we go on through the monthly webinars, to have people contact me that may need special, specific healing at a time when they're going through some difficult medical conditions. And together, we will select an individual each month and pray for them together. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this is because Lynn McTaggart, who wrote the book, The Power of Eight, and a number of other books, is doing this worldwide with healing. They're selecting people and having these world groups, The Power of Eight, work with that individual, and been having some very incredible results. So I think this would be a wonderful way to help not only everyone, but also people that are specifically dealing with, chronic or life-threatening illnesses. So tonight, on my Post-it note, everyone that is in the healing bowl here, that is here on the call, is in the bowl. And when we do the meditation tonight to work with the hormones, I'll be holding the bowl and praying, of course, for everyone in here. So if you would like to create your own prayer bowl, very easy to do, find a bowl that's special to you, and just get some Post-it notes close by, write down anyone that needs healing and put it in the bowl. And each day when you get an opportunity, just take a minute or two to hold the bowl for everyone there with your intention, sending your heart and love to them. And I always feel that because all those people are in my prayer bowl, that they're being prayed for 24 hours a day because it's specified as a prayer bowl. So when we continue on in beginning in September 27th, we're going to add this to our monthly webinar, just to let you know that. When we talk about hormones, they run the show. And very often, not exactly the way that we want to. So one easy way to help balance our hormones is something that Donna Eden taught us, known as the 4-point neurovascular hold. But Donna just nicknamed it the rooster comb. So we're going to do this together. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like, and it's very easy to do. So I'm going to take the heel of my hand, and I'm going to put it right at the beginning of my hairline. You can follow with me. I'm going to let my hands just fall, and the heel of my hand is on a liver point. When my hands just fall, they're on a heart point and several other important points that deal with our hormones. Now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to take the back heel of my hand and I'm going to put it underneath that curve of the head. And then I'm going to let my fingers just fall. And the hand underneath the curve is dealing with adrenals and, our estrogen, progesterone, and the fingertips up on the back of the head here are working with thyroid and hypothyroid, just helping us get that balanced. Now, what I want to say is the easiest way for you to do this is when you're lying in bed or lying down somewhere, because then your arms are supported by the pillows or the bed or the floor. When you do this, and I'll put a little PDF of the rooster comb that will physically show that to you for all those that are just on the phone. I'll include that on the replay link information. And when you do this to balance those hormones, you're going to need to hold it for at least 10 minutes to get everything to calm down. So that rooster comb is really easy. You're just taking the heel of your hand, you're placing it at the beginning of the hairline, working with liver, letting the fingers just drop. And there you're working with heart. And in the back, you're coming with the heel of your hand right underneath that ridge, working with adrenals, letting the fingertips drop. And then we're working with thyroid. So this is very easy to do. It's also comforting. And you can give it a try. You usually feel calmer afterwards. And you can teach someone else and have them do it to you. It's even easier if someone does it for you. Very easily accomplished if you're just sitting in a chair and the other person is holding that for you for at least 5, 8, maybe 10 minutes if possible. So everything that we can do to balance our hormones is really helpful, because no matter what age we are, they are, again, sending those 255 messages throughout our body every minute of the day. And it also helps to calm us down. Okay? So we have the rooster cone, we have healing with color, just very simply with that flashlight on the throat, anywhere on the body. And I would encourage you to use your intuition for the color, because we know that the chakras are connected with the endocrine system. So when we go up to the crown, of course, we're talking about pineal, pituitary, thyroid, thymus, pancreas, reproductive system. And if we look in a book on chakras, they each have color. So the root chakra that deals with adrenals and kidneys and so on is usually in that color red. The pelvic area reproductive system is in the color of orange. The solar plexus in the color of yellow. The heart in the color of green and expands out to beautiful roses and pinks. Or some people see the heart chakra in the color gold. We hear that term, someone has the heart of gold. When we get to the throat, that's sky blue. At the forehead, purples, lavenders. At the crown, white. The fascinating part about the chakra system is that it not only deals with our endocrine system and our hormones, but it is said to tell the story of our life story. So that each center, each chakra is dealing with a different psychodynamic about our life. That root center roots us to the earth, connects us to Mother Earth, grounds us and supports us. At the second center, that reproductive center, it allows us to birth life. But whether or not you ever birth life, if you take that second chakra and imagine it as a triangle to your root center, you are birthing yourself here in three-dimensional reality, and you're also birthing your creativity and your ideas. When we come up to that solar plexus, the idea is that this area deals with, our ego, our self-esteem, how we see ourselves in the world, how we take care of ourselves, how others view us. At the heart, we come into connection with others, with the community, with loved ones. At the throat, of course, we have expression. We have communication. So we get information from the earth, information from the heavens, and express that through us. At the sixth and seventh centers, we have the option to connect into the divine. And one of the reasons that we can connect into the divine is the understanding that we individuated out of the universe. We did not separate. We individuated out of the universe into this form. The energies of man and woman together have made it possible for us to be in the human form. So when Jesus walked around, remember, he would say things to the group that he was teaching, like he would say, watch this, I'm going to ask the Father, and now you are healed. He was trying to teach us that we are not separated from the divine, that that line of communication is open for us all the time. So right through that crown center, we're able to connect up into the divine. And also from our heart, as we expand out our heart, that connects us not only into others, but into the divine. So I want to take this last few moments and I want to take you through that blessing of the chakra centers. And because we're dealing with that hormonal system, it also helps to balance the hormones. So I'm going to begin once again with that, if I can get that slide up. Okay. And we're going to do first that 1 minute may I meditation to clear intention and to bring clarity. And so we're going to start with bringing our palms together at the heart center. We can follow this great drawing here. We're going to bring our palms up to the top of the crown. And we're going to say, may I know the truth. We're going to bring our thumbs to the forehead, working with the third eye area. And this chakra deals with our seeing and hearing, our clairvoyance, clairaudience. May I see and hear the truth. Off the lips, may I speak the truth. Down to the heart, may I speak the truth through my heart for all humanity. So now that we've set that clear intention, I'd like you to just allow yourself to get relaxed wherever you are. Close your eyes or let your eyes look down. And just take a breath in, deep breath in, and just let go. Now we're going to begin with that root center. So you may want to place your palms face down on top of your thighs to feel your legs, feet, connection to the earth. Imagine that at the bottom of your feet are roots, like tree roots, that are allowing you to safely sink into Mother Earth. So that you can say in this moment to yourself, I am safe. Next, we can bring our palms over that pelvic area. The center of life. That we not only give life to other human beings, but we give life to our passion and our creativity, manifesting it here in three-dimensional reality. Adding love and gratitude for this gift that is unique to humanity. We can raise the palms to the solar plexus area. And this area, remember, contains most of the major organs: liver, gallbladder, pancreas, spleen, kidney, and adrenals in the back. So we hold this center in a place of deep reverence for the functions of all of these organs that are so vital. Take a breath once again and just let go. Bring your palms up over the heart center. Now we're at the very heart of the matter. The heart supports us physically with every beat, every moment of the day. It delights us emotionally, or it can take us on a roller coaster ride. It helps us connect spiritually and to come in deeper contact with who we are internally, reminding us that we are a child of the divine, and using the heart energy, breathing in love, gratitude, and resilience. And again, at the heart center, breathing in love, gratitude, and resilience. We bring our palms up off the throat and nurture this area of communication, asking that we speak with loving kindness, that we speak with wisdom, mindfulness, taking a breath in and just letting go. We bring one hand over the forehead and the other hand on the top of the head. And here we open the third eye for clarity and vision at the forehead. We also open our clairaudience so we can hear guidance for ourselves and others. At the crown, we take our palm and we extend it up as far as our arm can reach, with the intention to connect into the divine universe, and divine consciousness. Now we bring our hands one over the other back at the heart. Take a breath and let go. And at each center, we want to go back one more time. And with our imagination and intention, infuse each center with color. red at the root for grounding, orange at the solar plexus. At the pelvis for creativity, birthing life, birthing herself. Yellow at the solar plexus, helping to support all of who we are and the ability to take care of ourselves in this realm. At the heart, roses, pinks, emerald greens, and gold. At the throat, sky blue, bringing that beautiful blue sky. At the forehead, purples, lavenders. And at the crown, the purity of the color white. And now one hand over the other at the heart center, holding all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in this moment in time. Take a breath and let it go. Just take a body check and notice how you feel in this moment. And one more time, hold all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in this moment in time. Let your hands relax to wherever they're comfortable now. And whenever you get a chance during the day, you might go back and just put that one hand over the other at the heart. And remember to hold all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in this moment in time. So take one more deep breath and just let it go. I want to answer a question or two that has come through in the group chat. And I want to remind everyone that this Sunday we have a beautiful August full moon. And according to all predictions, a fabulous weather weekend ahead, very well deserved by us. So I want to just go back. There was a question about color. And Anne asked, what color would you use for someone who is grieving? So I want to say that, first of all, anxiety and grief rest, according to traditional Chinese medicine, within the lungs. And there is a 2-hour time for each organ, and lung happens to be between 3 and 5 a.m. in the morning. So when someone is struggling with a lot of grief, they'll often tell you that they're waking up every night at 3:30 or 4 o'clock and having difficulty going back to sleep. The color for the lungs in that system, in that traditional Chinese medicine system, is white. So you could just get something white and shine a light through it. And equally helpful is you can help that person rake out their lungs. So you literally imagine that you make rakes out of your hands, and you can come, everybody can try this, see how it feels, come to the middle of your chest area and press in. Actually use a little pressure and pull across, shake off. Come back. Imagine you're just raking out the grief or raking out the anxiety, whatever it is that's there. And grief is very heavy, so we can just keep raking it out as much as we need to. We can teach that person if you have if you get a cold or bronchitis, go in and rake out your lungs. In our system, we consider fall beginning with the fall equinox. But on the Chinese calendar, we've already gone into fall. And come the end of August, many of the acupuncturists talk about seeing their clients that struggle with asthma or bronchitis or just a bad cold. So just raking out your lungs, as simple as that is, can be very healing and just feel lighter in that area. So that's something that you can do. And we'll look next webinar, we'll look at how we can flush lung, because we'll be fully in that, past that fall equinox. So before I end tonight, I just want to thank everyone for joining me. Any more questions, pop them in the chat box. And I want to remind you that I'm offering this subscription beginning in September. And anyone who signs up tonight from the link on the replay links that I send out will receive a complimentary intuitive energy healing with me, Elsie Kerns. I have a Chaos to Clarity coaching program, and my passion is teaching healing. So if there's anywhere you would like me to do that, please contact me. I'd love to share all of what I've learned over these last 25, 30 years. So thank you everyone for joining me. I will send out the replay link by around 9:30, and it will have the complete PDF of Gail's slideshow, and also a PDF of that rooster comb, so you can practice that on your own. And the May I meditation, that one-page sheet, I'll send that along as well. You can print it out and practice that. So we'll end with that one more time, coming palms at the heart center together, palms up, resting on the crown. May I know the truth. Thumbs over the forehead. May I see and hear the truth. Off the lips, may I speak the truth. At the heart, from my heart to all humanity. I want to thank you again for joining me, and I've got everyone in the prayer bowl. And if there's someone that you know needs special help, or you need special help, contact me, because we'll have one person also designated in September that will receive healing from the entire group on the webinar. So this is Elsie Kerns signing off with your Women Healing Women and the World Wellness webinar. Okay, thanks everyone for joining me. I'll stop the recording and see you in September, if not before.